All right, here we go again. It is Tuesday, the 25th of July. Just a little over 3 weeks to the Leadville Trail 100. Amazing when you start counting them down, how quickly the weeks roll in. Another mixed bag, of course, but if you've been watching for a few weeks now, you will be starting to see some patterns, I should think. A long run, a speedy run, a hilly run. So I'm up here where I've been on a number of my videos, because this morning I want to get a hilly run done. Plan is about 10 miles, similar to what I would have done, was that last week or maybe the week before? 10 miles up and down. Let's go. Whoa, it's a hot one. It is hot. Not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet and it is baking. Due to get up to 36 degrees today. Okay, so as always, let's take a look back on the 7 days that have just gone by. So if you remember, or if you watched my last video, or if you didn't watch my last video, I finished up with an 18 miler out on the Backbone Trail on the Sunday. So as a result, I took Monday off. Monday night, I drove into LAX and picked up my good friend Ray Cummins from the airport. And then on Tuesday morning, we both headed back out onto the Backbone Trail, apart in the same place as I had done on the Sunday, and we headed in the opposite direction and did about 11 miles. This cap annoys me. Any bit of actual running, and heaven forbid there's a breeze and it just falls off your head. Doesn't matter how much you tighten it up at the back. We'll not be using this during the Leadville. Funny thing is, when we got back to the car on Tuesday, there was a guy coming up from the other direction, the direction I had come on Wednesday, and man, he was delirious with the heat. I think he'd said he'd done 16 miles. He had little, I'd say 250, maybe 300 ml bottle with him. We asked him to take a picture, barely even knew what we were saying to him. So it can get dangerous out here. So definitely I've got about, for my 10 miles today, I've got about 1500 mils in my backpack here. All right, before I start telling you about Wednesday, I should mention that on Tuesday during our run, Ray talked about having dirt or irritation in his eye, and we thought he has dirt or irritation. We stopped by the pharmacy and we got some Optrex eye wash type stuff. Fine. The reason I tell you that story is because on Wednesday we went up to another beautiful trail that I wanted to show him, up by Sandstone Peak and out to Inspiration Point. But what became clear there is that there was something definitely wrong with Ray's eye. So we cut that short, headed back down, and through the advice really of the females in our relationships are the ones who look after us. Let's not take any of the credit here. Whisked Ray off to the emergency room over here. Thankfully we were in and out, and whole thing probably 10 minutes, and that includes the paperwork, and he was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. I had never really heard of it, or well, I'd heard the name but I didn't know what it was. So that was the end of his running for the week. He's fine, just working through the process. Okay, so since I had my pack fully loaded for the run earlier in the day, I decided to go out. I decided to go out and do I'm gonna say 11 and a quarter, as always. I'll throw it up on the screen, miles with my pack. Easy. Thursday was Run for the Ranch Day, part 2, 5k for the Paramount Ranch. So earlier in the day, Ray and I did a nice walk to a waterfall, and in the evening, Claire, Ray and I all did the 5k out at Paramount Ranch. So I had spotted the fact that there was about 30 or so teenagers all warming up in unison together. So whether it was a track club or more likely a school running team or something anyway like that, but yeah, those young boys, they took off like lightning. But I clung on, pulled in one of them. I kind of was sitting in fourth for a long time, and I pulled in one of them just as a climb. I climb about a mile and a half into it, so pulled in that, and I managed to bag third place this week. The young kids were out. The winner was 16, second place was 17 I think, and third place was 51, and fourth place was 17 or 18 as well. Go on, go on. Yeah, so very happy with that result. Just one more to go now this Thursday. That's supposed to be some prizes too, so I should definitely be on track for my age category win. But can we hold on to a podium position? That's the question. Won't be for want of trying. But as Confucius once told me, the man who chases two rabbits catches neither. So the focus is still very much on Leadville. Up, away, hey, ho! Here's a nice bench now, check this out. Huh? Ah. The hills are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. And on Friday, I believe I went out and did a flat round the lake and down to Canaan, whatever that, 11.5 or so. Easy, I think, screen. So on Saturday, I decided to bin my run and do 3 lovely walks in the area instead. Walk number 1 was in Simi Valley, which is just on the far side of these hills here. Walk number 2 was down by Malibu. We had beautiful views down onto the coastline, so you're heading off inland here, probably more here, yes, here. And walk number 3 was my most local trail, which is just on the other side of the lake here, just that high ridge you can see there. All 3 stunning views, all 3 beautiful, and all 3 a good substitute for the easy run that I would have done anyway. And finally Sunday, yesterday as it is now, I'm not sure when this video will get made, busy week ahead getting ready for our trip to Colorado, but I went out for my long run. So I put on a fully loaded pack with a full at least 1500 mils of water, gels, chews, what have you, and did 20 miles. Road, yeah, I wanted to mimic that kind of long, steady pace somewhere in the middle of Leadville where, yeah, you've got a very long section that you can run and you just settle into a nice easy pace. So my pace for that run yesterday was 8:50 per mile, which should be a very comfortable pace for me, but with the pack on my back, I had a rate of perceived effort, I would say, of a 7:50, 7:45, so it's just interesting. So my goal as well during the run yesterday was to try and replenish as many calories as I could whilst on the run. Normally for a long run I would take maybe 2 gels with me, and that would be enough, you know. It's an easy run, but I'm not replenishing as many calories as I should, but it doesn't matter because I'm getting back to the house anyway. Whereas yesterday I wanted to try and replenish as many calories as I possibly could. So through a combination of gels and chews, I replenished 233 calories per hour, which isn't bad. If I could do that on race day, I think I'd be pretty happy. Which brings us to today, Monday. Oh no, I tell a lie. Today's Tuesday. What did I do yesterday? I went once around the lake, just an easy 4 miler, or slightly over 4 miles. Okay, camera off, a little technical here. And speaking of food though, sun right behind me, sorry if I'm very dark. I have been taking mostly sweet chews, gels and the like, and I really need to start using some savoury foods. So yesterday, Ray and I went up to the Camarillo outlet store, but on up to the REI store in Oxnard, which is a big outlet store over here in the States, a chain. And I picked myself up a variety of, where are they? Variety of different waffles, both goo and another honey stinger or something. So we're going to try a few of those today. I got to get away from that noisy 101, back into the hills proper. But yeah, the waffle so far still sweet, but not like a full blast of pure glucose into your mouth, so maybe we'll have a few of these. I still haven't made Coop's rice balls either. I think they might have to wait till Colorado now. Seems appropriate. Long climb up here, which is good, just what I was looking for. All right, waffle in, that's 150 calories. All right, looking forward to the week ahead then. What do we got? Today's Tuesday. Again, rinse and repeat. Tomorrow I'll go relatively easy, 4 maybe 11 miles, depending on whether I just go around the lake or around the lake and down to Canaan. Thursday we've got to run for the ranch, the grand final. And Friday, believe it or not, we hit the road for Colorado. We're going to stop one night in Vegas Friday night. We're going to stop one night in Moab Saturday night. Take a little look at the Moab course, maybe. A little look, 240 miles. No, I don't plan to run it. We'll pop into the Arches National Park. We got our booking for, or our permit for a self-guided walk in the fiery furnace. They only released the permits a week beforehand, so had to get on yesterday and make sure I had that secured. Looking forward to that. And following that hike, we will head on up to Colorado, where we will be stationed for 3 weeks come this Sunday. So I'm not quite sure how the running will play out for the rest of the week, but it'll have the same mix. This hilly run today, the fast run on Thursday night. We'll have to see where I fit in a long run somewhere. I don't want a long run to be the first run I do in Colorado. Might end up being a very short run indeed, so have to check the altitude at Moab. Can I fit that in and the fiery furnace? Or Vegas? Alright, some thought required. Alright, and what else? I ordered a new pair of Hoka Speed Goats last Thursday, which I hoped would have arrived by now. Over here in the States, stuff generally arrives very, very quickly. So I sent Fleet Feet a message last night, to which they replied saying, yeah, sorry about that. A store cancelled your order because they didn't have them, and they've now sent it on to Hoka to fill the order directly, apparently, whatever that means. So they better arrive before Friday. They better arrive. And in other news, the Coros watch, I got an email from the director of the Coros loaner program. That's loaner as in the watch is on loan, as opposed to loaner, you're a loaner out there on the hills on your own, to say I needed to return the watch this week or buy it outright. So I sent it back an email saying, do you know what, I haven't really had a chance to try it out or check it in battle. I thought I was going to have it for Leadville race. So he did come back last night. I haven't replied to him yet to say, all right, well, how long do you want it for? To which I will obviously reply, I want it for the race, buddy. So I'll tell you about that next week. Hopefully some of these hills are akin to Hope Pass, which is the high point of the Leadville 100 at 12,600 feet, which you go over and then you turn around at Winfield, which is the halfway point, and you go over it again. Man alive, hard to believe I'll be recceing it next week. Bring it on. Speaking of recceing the course, I can already see on the Facebook participants page that there are lots of people up there recceing away as we speak and meeting up and doing these recce's. So hopefully now I can get to meet up with some of the race participants and do some of the recceing with them also. So that's it for this week, guys. I'll leave you with something to ponder. Normally around this time, and it's happening right now, is you start questioning, have I done enough? Should I have done more training? Why don't I feel more fatigued or more strain in my muscles? And one of the reasons that is the case is because I've been fueling so much more during this training. And when you fuel more, you recover faster, you feel less fatigued afterwards. But then you don't quite know, am I doing enough or not? Because when you come in and you're exhausted, you go, oh yeah, that was a good run. Feel exhausted after that. So right now, who knows? Think about it. All right, guys, that's it. We'll talk again next week from Colorado. Whoa!